are going to start on Prime Video with a feature-length documentary which is available from Friday the 23rd of August. It's called Sven, and here's a clip.
Whoever it is that said life is too short, he's right. Sven?
Sven-Göran Eriksson has a popularity rating of 90%.
I should like to start again.
Sven-Göran Eriksson, England's first foreign coach.
Thank you.
He's won titles in Sweden, Portugal and Italy.
So yes, another sports documentary for your delectation, Hannah. This, of course, as the title suggests, is about Sven-Göran Eriksson, who became the England football team's first ever foreign coach in 2001. Took over from Kevin Keegan. There was a right hoo-ha from the press about how could we have a foreign manager when we'd had decades of not achieving anything. Anyway, it looks great actually, because a lot of it is filmed in his native Sweden, where he lives. He's got terminal cancer, so it's rather sort of elegiac. The countryside looks gorgeous. It's well filmed. And like so many documentaries about celebrities that we watch these days, much of it is a painful reminder of the appalling behaviour of the British tabloid press and how they just set out to destroy people by whatever means possible, including phone hacking. So yeah, Sven comes across as such a nice guy. He's very cultured as well. He's interested in sort of Tibetan poetry. He brings a whole new kind of vibe to English football. There are some big name contributors to this. David Beckham and Wayne Rooney, who played for Sven, and they both absolutely loved him. Roberto Mancini, Kasper Schmeichel, and his former partner, Nancy Dell'Olio, and his lover, Faria Alam, who worked at the FA. So yeah, I mean, Sven wasn't married, and he did have these relationships with Ulrika and with Faria, and to the British press, this was huge, and it was basically an excuse to get him sacked, really. And then they also set up a fake shake sting as well to entrap him. So yeah, he was basically completely sabotaged by the tabloid press, and there's a particularly weaselly reporter from the News of the World appears in this trying to justify this absolute disgraceful behaviour. But anyway, Sven just comes across as such a lovely guy. You hear more about his early career because he was a total unknown when he'd came to England, but he'd sort of coached an amateur team to win like a major cup in Sweden. He'd been very successful in Italy. He's just a really nice guy. I mean, I don't think that the Brits really knew what to make of him because he was quite cultured and he wasn't always sort of throwing teacups and getting angry. He was just really lovely guy, tactically shrewd. The players liked him and he tried to protect the players. In fact, he says to the press at the one point, "Please don't kill Wayne Rooney. We're going to need him." But of course, they didn't take any notice. Anyway, I'll stop going on about the press now, but whether or not you like football, it's a really great watch. Sven just comes across so well, and he's clearly much admired and loved, and we see him with his family and his home. It's just great, but also a sad reminder of some of the more negative aspects of British culture. Hannah, did you enjoy this?
That was a good rant there. That was very good. Got in there, everything about it. You're right, though. You're absolutely right. There was some absolutely shocking stuff in it. Of course, it comes to light, doesn't it, in this? But I think what I like about these kind of things is that you get to know the person, because I think, as you rightly pointed out, there's lots of stuff in the British tabloids. What do you make? What do you make of it all? What's right? What's not? Where's the truth? And of course, this will also be relatively one-sided. This is something about him. But what it does do is it involves third parties and commentary and personal insights from other people like David Beckham, his ex, Nancy Dell'Olio, who, remained on the sort of red carpet events for quite a while. I think she probably still turns up to them, to be honest with you, and sometimes. And they're talking about him, and he does really come over. And I think you're right. We didn't know a huge amount about him, did we? back then, particularly. I don't know what we would have made of him really, as Brits, but I think that this kind of uncovers a side of him that you perhaps didn't know. The fact that he was fiercely loyal with his team to protect them, like you say, and what a kind of nice guy he is. And of course, he's not brilliantly well now as well, and he's quite a different person now to what he was even then. And so I enjoy documentaries like this anyway, because you always come away learning something. And I don't think you need to be a football fan to enjoy it. Just like we say about music documentaries, you kind of taken along for the ride, you learn something. As I say, this comes out at a really sad time, really, because he is very, very poorly. But I think it's a bit of a lasting legacy, really, that something like this is done about someone like that, and to sort of put the wrongs right, really, and to focus on what should be focused on, which is his talents, how good he was, and the person that he really is. So I would thoroughly recommend